the physical damage. It does get answered in the Rubik. There are very good abilities to steal here. Oh no.
Instantly. I'm nearly just going ahead and saying T1 have got this already. Like, you've got the Frost Shield already to be able to deal with the push, and now you've got the Arc Warden with the magnetic field, and the laning stage that's probably not going to go your way. I honestly think Rubik is probably top 5 strongest heroes this patch, just because of how they've changed him up a little bit, given him moved the Fade Bolt down to level 10, the steals damage from enemy heroes, and giving him cast range as well with his Arcane Supremacy, which I think is just nuts. So yeah, I just think this T1 draft is just too good already.
Do you think? How do you? I know you said Rubik, you feel pretty strong. Do you think he's a lot better? Because he was already, I think, one of the top, I'd say top 5 position 4s in the last patch, and they buffed him.
I think he's better.
Yeah,
I think
which I find really
they give him
surprising.
more cast range.
That's nuts.
Like, really? Like the standard build for every single Rubik player should be Arcane Boots, Aether Lens, Blink Dagger, and now you might be able to get away with not actually going for the Aether Lens, just because you're going to have a lot more cast range coming through purely from your skills. So it's like, can you go this hyper greedy style? You might need to, because you've there's certainly a lot of good spells to steal in this game. You know, the Chain Frost is going to be nuts, especially on the backlines. I mean, it's going to be nuts for the Lich, let's be honest. If they ever try doing any sort of siege with all of those TB illusions, it's just going to rip straight through them, and they don't care all that much about the Guardian Angel.
Yeah, and even that goddamn shard ability, the telekinesis, like, what the heck's going on there? You're just chucking yourself or your allies at everyone, and even the Rubik, it now has even more potential of maybe being a position too, and actually having some core factor. But in this game, Execration, they have to deal with the Arc Warden. They don't have ways to get on top of him. Terrorblade might even have to, if you've got a lineup that doesn't get on top of someone, Terrorblade might have to go for like a Blink in the Aghanims, just with that fear. It could be a way to deal with him. You are worried about this protective factor in the Frost Shield, but this last pick, I mean, what's gone? Ember's gone, Storm's gone, Batrider's gone, so very high mobility heroes to be able to jump the Arc Warden. They're gonna need a way to do it here for Ken's mid lane.
I'm just going to go on a limb here, because I honestly don't see how the draft works in a normal sense for Execration. I'm going to say this Rubik is mid. I'm going to say this Omni Knight is position 4, paired together with a Slardar, and I think they're going to pick the 5 now. Some sort of 5 that can be a little bit more aggressive, that wants to do some initiating. Could be a Clockwork, honestly. Like, it's not amazing against the Void Spirit, or it's kind of fine against Earth Spirit, I guess. And then if it does get super later on, you have that new Clockwork, when you're in the Power Cogs, you're Spell Immune, which is a nice late game talent to have if it does get to that stage. Certainly nullifies a lot of what Earth Spirit, Lich, and Viper, and Void Spirit are trying to do to you. But that's really the only way I can see this this draft working for Execration, unfortunately. Just taking advantage of Rubik being a lot stronger, in my opinion, as a core hero.
Yeah, I'd be a bit worried if they're gonna put if they don't last pick a core though. I'm hoping Puck or something like that. They're gonna Mars.
Choose your hero.
That gives you a way to jump. It's looking like it's gonna be a
mid Mars, maybe. It's
Omni. I mean, more than likely, the matchup versus the Void, they can. Yeah, there we go. Mid Mars. Okay, so we might see the new Aghanims and the Shard as well.
It's possible, to be sure. I mean, that'd be super nice if you could spear Arc Warden and his Tempest double with the one spear with the Aghanim Shard. I don't know. I can't see this safe lane going very well for Execration, unfortunately for them. I know they've put on a very good showing throughout the group stage. I mean, they were top of the table for the first 4 or so days, I think. But it's been a little bit of a drop-off for them since then, unfortunately. And who knows? I might be dead wrong, but I feel like this draft from T1 addresses a lot of what Execration are trying to do.
Yeah, I'm just worried that they don't really have the greatest way to be able to get on top of the Arc Warden as well. I mean, Mars Arena is one of the best ways to control fights, but you know, Jackie's just going to have a BKB at some stage. They don't really have, you know, Whitemon could even go like a Glimmer, Force, one defensive item, and then Arc Warden's going to be fine. Like, I honestly think Terrorblade needs a Blink. I don't see what they're able to do. Like you're gonna have to. I think Terrorblade has to have a really good game for them to actually take this. And I agree with you. This lane's going to be super rough. You've got a defensive support, so you're not really able to pressure the Viper at his weakest stage. So Viper Earthspirit's going to take over that lane. Startup Rubik, pretty strong. I mean, Arc Warden's a little bit more of a weaker laning stage, and it's also a Lich with a ranged hero, so you're unable to really get the combo with the Frost Shield to play aggressive. But, you know, I think Execration have to play this game like perfectly to win this. Just a cheeky Arc Warden in an elimination match is going to be difficult for Execration to deal with.
And it was instantly picked as well. They were so confident on T1 that this was going to be able to just handle everything that Execration are trying to throw at them. It's not going to be a huge factor in this game, but Rubik is another one of those heroes. Like I've talked about the changes to his abilities, you know, like Arcane Supremacy providing all that cast range super early on, really nice. The stolen debuff amp now is on the spell steal instead. Do you want to hover over that telekinesis Aghanim shard for me?
Did you say the telekinesis? Sorry.
On the Rubik, yes,
yeah,
the Ag shard.
Yep.
Allows you to target yourself or allies with telekinesis. Throw range is 60% longer and cooldown is reduced by 30% when targeting allies. Throw delay reduced to 0.5 seconds. You can lift people out of the enemy's chronosphere. You can lift your teammates out of the enemy team's black hole with this ability. I don't know if that's intended, but you can do it. It's not going to be great this game because there's nothing like, you know, busted that's going to completely lock them down, but it's still pretty crazy mechanic.
Yeah, what the heck?
If you don't believe me, go and test it in demos. And while you're there and while we wait for this disconnect, feel free to follow me and Aries on Twitter. I am Danog on Twitter. Aries is Aries_HD. Did I get that right?
Yep. Yeah.
Very, very good. And I'm also on Facebook at Danog. But because this very well might be the last game that Aries and I are casting for this tournament. Like we've been saying, it is Execration's life on the line, unfortunately, here. And like you've been saying, it's going to need some perfect execution from Execration to be able to try and come back into this, force us to a game 3. Otherwise, we're going to have a very early night.
Yeah, we've kind of been getting used to, you know, throughout the group stages, been going to like 4:30 in the morning. You know, last playoffs were 2:30 last night, so it could be an early one, honestly. But Execration, I want a game 3. You know, tonight heading into it, I really wanted to see 6 games, just get as many new patch games in as we could. But first series with 2-0 and T1, they're looking to try and claim it 2-0 as well. Let's see if they can, you know, go against the Arc Warden, though. It's going to be a difficult one to say the least.
For sure.
All right, what do we got? They any real shenanigans come through the setup so far? No, it's looking. I'm just intrigued to see the Mars, like how is going to try and itemize this game. You know, we did see the changes with the Aghanim Scepter, the Shard as well. So how Ken wants to kind of play. He did do very well in that laning stage with the Invoker up against the Void Spirit. And the issue is though, like it's going to be a melee matchup. Yes, you've got the God's Rebuke, which is going to be nice, but Kyle will always have that Resonant Pulse, well, at least a majority of the time, to really protect him through a lot of the damage here. So it is going to kind of minimize how much harassment Ken can really do, but, you know, it doesn't have a full uptime. That is the big thing.
For sure. Yeah, you just compare things here, like Jackie, he's able to get a lot of good harass along with Whitemon onto this Slaughter. Yes, you've got a decent amount of armor. He's also bought himself the Ring of Protection to assist with that, but it's not going to be enough. I feel like they're just going to burn through all of their regen a lot quicker, and it's going to be the complete opposite story here. As soon as this Metamorphosis wears off on Yue, it's just going to be a whole lot more difficult for them to try and get anything out of this lane, and Zephyr, he's making it even harder. He's pulling the wave all the way through, so they're just going to be able to farm it underneath the tower.
Yeah, Cuckoo did have to commit that TP, but I mean, meta's about to be expired, so now Yowe's at least kill potential is now evaporated, and Cuckoo's going to get out of the threat of dying early on. And well, we see Whitemon as well. Look at just the pressure. I mean, this is at least a double range though. So the Slaughter really unable to utilize that bash and constantly trying to trade with the enemy team. And just, man, that Frost Blast is still such an incredible level 1 nuke potential. You see Whitemon, yeah, I mean, he had 2 mangoes before, potentially even the 3 as well bringing out. I didn't see the starting items, and he's just, you know, going to work on the Slaughter, who's falling incredibly low, although Whitemon is playing super aggressive, but BDZ still doesn't. Oh, he just actually picks up the level 2, so now with the drag back.
Look at how far forward Cuckoo and that are as well on the top side.
Yeah, I mean, they're just playing so aggressive, but this might be our first blood as Whitemon's going to try and run in the tower, but Rapido going to be able to pick that one up. And yeah, Zephyr and Cuckoo, they're not even allowing your way to be able to farm under the tower. He's going to have to cut through all the trees, but Zephyr, he sniffs it out. Unfortunately, his cut in is still going to be able to actually cut out with the tankers. And now Yoe's like, oh, where do I go, guys? I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do. He's going to have to now TP to the tower, but now they know he's stuck here.
It's a rough one, that's for sure. And as well, Cuckoo gets the pull off. He's going to be able to get that farm. They've completely denied a full creep wave away from this TB.
Ken, nice score to be going to push Carl back here to simulate. Should be able to give him the distance. So a very nice attempt there with that Mars, but this is at least the nice thing that the Void Spirit has. Whenever you get dragged under the tower to simulate, just that value point is always going to give you a nice kind of disengage factor.
I wonder what Ken's going to go in terms of item builds. I feel like, yeah, Bracer's fine. Maybe just wants to stack up on the pure stats just to avoid a lot of this magic damage coming through from the Void Spirit. I think it is just that. You need to be as beefy of a frontliner as possible. Your way.
Terribly.
Chased up a little bit here. Heavenly Grace is still good for being able to save away from all of that movement speed reduction that T1 are trying to get onto him.
When you take a look at the lanes though, like Terrorblade's got 9 last hits, Slardar's got 7, Arc Warden's literally free farming, Void Spirit's having a pretty good time mid at the moment. Like, you know, we were hoping Execration, you know, they really needed to have a strong lane and continue out of this game, you know, went on, but it's not looking good at the moment as RR, he's going to TP out. The roll from Zephyr's still on cooldown. You know, maybe they're able to get the power rune away from Carl, who doesn't even have a bottle just yet, so not DD for Ken. That's going to be able to help out at least for his mid matchup.
But Cuckoo, like, of course he likes getting the last hits, but that's not his job right now. It's just to zone out Yoe as much as possible. He's got onto his level 3, so that's going to be nice to be able to potentially transition through the jungle with those conjure images, but you don't want to be popping meta in the jungle. You know, that needs to be used for the laning stage, and they're just giving him no lane to play with. Nice little pull being able to get through there from RR though, so that's going to deny some of the experience away from Cuckoo, but just goes to show the power of this Pos 3 Viper as well. He's just using the left click on the poison attack, making sure the tower's not drawing any aggro onto him. They're trying to get the turnaround, and here come the TPs.
Well, BDZ is going to be able to get there in time. He's got the telekinesis drag back. Yoe trying to get in range, but where's the extra control, Cuckoo? No boots at the moment, but it looks like it doesn't matter. So that TP does absolutely nothing. Now they're going to be careful because Void Spirit's coming over. They're going to have the bounty soon as well, so he'll be able to get a little bit of extra health and meta to utilize. But Cuckoo and Zephyr still trying to contest this. They'll get the kill on top of the Rubik, and now on the high ground is Cuckoo, so he's going to be A-okay, but it looks like Zephyr's the target for Yoe. But again, they just a very defensive position 5 here, not really able to enable the Terrorblade to utilize that extra damage it gets in the meta early.
And he's just not farming at all. You know, his metamorphosis is gone now. You've got Zephyr, who's probably just going to walk all the way back to base alongside the Viper, get full HP. He's got the Urn of Shadows, just TP straight back out, kill him again. Or even if you don't kill him, just stop him from farming. It's just as good.
Well, it feels like this game's on Ken. This is pretty much the one lane that Execration have done relatively well in. He's got that level 6. Let's see how many plays he's going to be able to make across the map this game, because if they... yeah, they might just get ran over here with the first 4 heroes that T1 have, just making so much space for the Arc Warden, just continuing to farm. And then even then, like, you're going to have like a Void Spirit setting up, an Earth Spirit setting up, and then you're going to have a Tempest Double to eventually come through. So their pickup potential is going to be through the roof here from T1 as the game continues on. And they might just be able to shrink the map as... well, you're going to have to really try and do something, otherwise this game is going to continue getting difficult.
Dire are scanning.
Alright, just coming straight onto him. Oh.
They do find the Arc here, but with Lich coming over, it's going to force the rest of Execration back. They were trying to get a bit aggressive there, but won't be able to.
Able to just throw out that Tempest Double. They've got the Flux available as well if they were wanting to put a bit more harass in on. Wave's pushing all the way in though, so Rapido, he's going to be able to at least get some experience from here. He's level 5, so not having a horrible time, but when you compare that to the Arc Warden already hitting up onto his level 6, he's got the Midas coming in about 400 gold. It's not the situation you want to be in.
Zephyr is just so annoying.
You mentioned the fact that his lane's the only one going kind of okay, but he's just being constantly harassed out by Carl.
Yeah, Carl's doing a good job at being able to just constantly bring Ken down to low so he doesn't have a threat of being able to burst down the Void Spirit. And he needs just a little bit of extra bit of help in top lane. Yeah, I mean, the Omni's going to give you a little bit of help with the Purification, but it's not enough as they're going to be able to find that kill up top on the Terrorblade. So it's so important. We're probably going to see Terrorblade go farm the jungle, but they're mid. Speed with the arena committed. They're going to be able to get the follow-up on BDZ. Okay, that's a big target for them, finding the Void Spirit.
Very nicely done. And now Ken just immediately starting to put some pressure onto the tower. I mean, he's just looking to chip it down a little bit so that when the TB does eventually have enough farm to make a rotation, he's going to get a decent amount done. Or he could just be trying to bait out some kind of rotation to relieve some of the pressure on these side lanes. But T1 not falling for the bait. They're fine just to, you know, lose a little bit of farm underneath this tower. It should probably only be a couple creeps.
Ken might be in trouble here, actually. Zephyr trying to contest the power rune, and now as soon as the Void Spirit respawns as well, so he's able to get a bit of a return kill there. Just going to feel nice for him. Like you said, just relieving some pressure, so allows him to be as aggressive in these side lanes. And, well, yeah, we see Yoei, I mean, he's farming up the jungle, but Zephyr's well aware of this, being able to drop a deep Observe Ward. Now, Terrorblade is one of the better heroes to be able to fall back and farm the jungle at a decent rate, but they're not giving BDZ any opportunity to try and soak up some experience mid, as the duo support coming over, helping Carl with a little bit of a gank train, and another nice little kill for them.
Nicely done. Ken TP's in, cleans things up. He's trying to chase them down a little bit. They've actually scouted out some of these stacks as well that they've been able to create. So Carl just says, thank you very much. Takes that for himself. They don't have the best ways to take it other than, like, the Ancient stack is probably not going to be achieved, and Carl just body blocks that hard camp as well. So just doing everything annoying that they can to make sure that this TB has no way to come back into the game. He's still level 5.
Oh, God.
He's like, where's my creeps? You said there were creeps.
So there was a stack, it's just gone, and I mean, mid lane, Ken, he's got a DD, so this should be a 100% a kill. At least, I mean, he's 2-1 at the moment, 59 last hits, having a good start, but down bot. Rapido, he's in trouble as, you know, Carl's starting to get pretty active here. Killing spree for him, and a very nice involvement, and the supports are getting some help as well. Some items coming out for them early is just going to be able to help their mobility across the map. And man, this Arc Warden, top of the net worth, and this is really scary for Execration, because this is not what you want. Arc's, you're not the greatest hero early on. You know, it's going to be a little bit slower as the game continues, but we do have some aggression mid though, as Ken is going up against pretty much all of T1 at the moment. RR's going to try and get involved, but he won't be able to close the distance to help out with any of the sustain.
Getting dived on as well.
Again, yeah, and Carl's even got a haste to be able to continue with the dive here. They even find Terrorblade on the high ground if they want to go for him afterwards. Looks like they just leave RR and go for Yoei instead. He doesn't have a point in the Sunder. He goes for the maximize in the metamorphosis and the images there, really trying to enable him to find the farm. And I mean, if this is a game where you've got to pick up a point in your ultimate at level 6, then yeah, it just shows how rough it is. It's such a bad ability for you at that stage because of how poor of a laning stage he had. He just needs to find as much farm as he can, and I mean, T1 giving him no room at all.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do. Like, he made that rotation through the tri-camp area. He didn't see the hard camp, so well, now he's going to have the metamorphosis to try and make something happen here, and he should pop it on this ancient camp. I wonder if there's going to be any sort of scouts, but it looks like they're all committed onto the top side of the map. They just want to take this tier 1 tower, and that's totally fine. You've reached the point where the Arc Warden can start doing the push on his own, surrounded by the rest of his team, and then just have his Tempest Double doing Tempest Double things.
Almost got that Maelstrom completed as well, but And what is the Mars going for next? Okay, so he's going to commit for a blink. At least it's going to give them a way to be able to initiate. Even Slardar's going for a blink next as well. So maybe if they can stall this out, get those blinks. I mean, you're not going to have the damage from the Terrorblade, so it's going to have to come through from somewhere else. But even Radiant want to try and defend their bottom tower as well, giving them no room to find some objectives. RR's in a decent positioning here. It's going to disrupt the combo, but they don't have extra help. They're coming through at least a little bit later here, but the Slardar's going to be able to scurry away that maxed out sprint. He's actually coming back forward, but they haven't seen the rest of the rotations. Just the Lich down here at the moment.
He's just finished up farming that tri-camp area on the TB. No Metamorphosis, but with the rest of his team, he's feeling confident enough. I just wonder if that's going to be a little bit misplaced, given that Whitemon, he's got his level 6 now, just sitting underneath the tower experience range. He wants to be able to turn around if they make a deep dive onto him.
Slardar. Nice cut through from him. If they can find him,
the Jukes.
Jackie's going to show up as well with the Tempest double here, but
they know he's there. They found
Rapido. Going to get caught out here. Let's see if he can cut through the trees, or do they even want to try and attempt the dive? RR's going to try and get involved. Nice silence prevents the Omni Knight from getting the help out to save the Slardar. And they even get the Chain Frost connecting on top of RR on top of the backline, so the Omni Knight won't be able to treat somehow. They're still alive, and now with the Chain Frost as well, can bounce back. He tries to chuck him straight on top of the creeps to enable the Chain Frost. Beautifully played actually there from the Rubik. No one dies on Execration. The position from RR disrupting them from being able to kill off the Slardar, and well, we see the Rubik help out there.
Yeah, some good players coming through. Yoe, well, they weren't able to take the tower, so I suppose it's a little bit of a victory for T1, considering Jackie was just farming up these big stacks in the meantime. And like you mentioned, he's just got the Maelstrom coming out to him now, so he's going to look to burst those down. And yeah, Whitemon doing his job, but he didn't quite have the mana to cast something else after that to prevent the steal of the Chain Frost.
Well, we do have the blink now completed for Ken, so this is going to be a pretty big item for them to help initiate. Let's see if they're going to be able to get a perfect reveal out of it, though, as Radiant, they're still trying to maybe bait Carl down bot and continue defending the tower. Ever smoke? They do, right? They're going to smoke up. Slardar showing at the moment he does have some heroes in the backline, so they're going to be careful if they commit for the Slardar. They're even going to, I mean, Ken and Yoe just reveal themselves as well, so they're well aware of the positioning. They got the Viper that can show up, even the Tempest double from the Arc Warden. It's actually down at the moment for 20 seconds, but Cuckoo's coming in to take this fight if it does break out. And they're dipping out. Terrorblade wants none of this as well. Slardar tries to run through the river, needs the Omni Knight to get in range. RR on the high ground, can he get there in time? No, the Heavenly Grace not going to be fast enough. Now Zephyr's going to try and punish this. Ken's coming over. He's got this blink. They're going to be careful of the positioning. Oh, the Iron Wood doesn't find the connection.
Chain Frost is back up, though. So they might be looking to try and make a play when the Slardar's back online. But yeah, here we go. Smoke coming out. Who are they going to try and find? Arc Warden would be main priority, but Jackie knows well enough. He's just going to be nowhere near harm's way.
And now this T1 tower is going to take a little bit of damage as well. They did see Carl coming through top.
Atos on Cuckoo as well, so a lot more pickup potential too.
The control as well is just going to make it so difficult. This Slardar, I mean, you do have the Omni Knight, nice position from Cuckoo. Gonna find BDZ. They just see him rolling up, so Zephyr's gonna try and chase Atos through. They get the silence, and Rubik is ultra dead. Instantly, you see that the Mars is just like, all right, brother, you can be the sacrificial lamb. Just let me survive. He'll try and get some creeps, a little bit of gold before he does take away some extra farming potential that Radiant can get, but. You know, you are allowing the Terrorblade to find farm. The issue is still, you can't really keep up with the Arc Warden Midas, though.
Very difficult. Like, the dream scenario is TB's allowed to get his farm, he gets to be decently big, and then eventually Mars is going to, hopefully, if my fantasies are correct,
they want to turn it, Ken. Blink's on cooldown at the moment. They're coming over. RR's going to be able to keep the Slardar alive. Even Yoe's going to show up as well with the Metamorphosis here. They chuck up the GA. Rapido's still going to end up dropping to the magic damage. Spears off the mark as well. Cuckoo just dancing around inside the arena. Now the Terrorblade's stuck inside the river. They get the roll forward. The chain lockdown. Beautifully played. 2 down from Execration. They're not done. Roll in. Zephyr on the Earth Spirit. There was a reason he's your background. We're seeing so many plays come through at the moment from him, and they're not done. Carl's going to want to try and punish this. Ken caught out. It was set set him up. RR might be able to get a defensive factor, but it looks like they don't have any turn potential though. Just maybe hoping to keep the life of the Mars, but it won't have been enough. Although Whitemon falling very low. BTS, can he get a kill? He rolls in, wants the fade, but the tower would do it. But still the Rubik falls, and even they show RR as well. He's gonna face check that. They want to dive underneath the tier 2. It looks like they don't, but I mean, they got a big kill on the Terrorblade there. Someone who, you know, hadn't died in a while, was finding a little bit of farm in the jungle, but showed up, pop meta, and got absolutely nothing out of it.
Level 9 TB against a level 14 Arc Warden, by the way.
Yeah.
16.5 minutes in.
No bueno.
Yeah, does not feel good. And, well, okay, he's reached level 10 now, so, you know, clap.
He's clapped.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult for them to come back from this. The dream scenario that I was thinking about is being up against a ranged core and having this Mars. Of course, the bulwark's going to be good, just to be able to redirect all of your attacks to you. But it means that as the mid laner, you're not doing any damage yourself. Same sort of thing with the Arena of Blood. You toss it out, and it's just highly dependent on your spears being on point. But if eventually you are able to go into, you know, getting tanky enough, BKB is a good way to do it. I'm liking this build. And then get the Ag Scepter. If TP has an okay amount of farm...
They're going to try and burst through the Void Spirit here, but Radiant, can they counter-initiate? Zephyr's going to roll forward. They do claim the kill on Carl. Zephyr's in trouble as well. RR's doing a nice job with the Omni Knight to keep them a little bit alive, but look at the Chain Frost go to work. Ken and Slardar just take the full brunt to the force. It's a 2 for 2, which honestly, at this stage, you're going to take for Execration, but man, oh man, that Chain Frost did so much work there. 2,400 damage. For Whitemon's Lich.
He's been the MVP for me all throughout this, honestly, the playoffs, not even just the this particular series. And well, deaths like that lean further away from this ideal scenario that I'm envisaging from Execration. Like you can't sacrifice the damage to purely put everything onto the TB.
And this is still like Arc Warden's gonna get to, oh my god, he's got that new item. He went for it. Interesting.
Ooh, the Gleipnir.
Gleipnir. Alright, that's how we're going to try and pronounce it. Gleipnir. I mean, this is... It doesn't give you that attack speed, which is the one interesting thing. The stats are a lot better. Who are they find in the river? Okay, Cuckoo's going to get caught out. There's no other Radiant heroes nearby here, so Viper trying to link down bottom with the rest of the team. Maybe trying to attempt a catch on the Terrorblade there, but they will not be successful at doing so.
I wonder if he's ever just going to use the Gleipnir to farm it sounds so stupid. To farm a creep wave, right? Like it's within a 450 radius. That is a big area.
Cost rate is pretty decent as well.
Zap.
I mean, I wonder if this is just him trying to see how it's really going to feel with the Arc Warden. Like, again, it's not giving you that attack speed. I mean, you've got the Agi, it's going to give you a little bit. It's only 12. The stats are nice. The root as well to kind of help control, which is the different factor. But the Mjolnir active can also help out a little bit more if you have ways that you're worried without being able to deal with the Terrorblade illusions. But I mean, what do we got at the moment here? A 5,000 lead for tier 1. It's about to be 20 minutes in, so yeah, we do have... Okay, actually, hang on a second. Jackie might get caught out here. Smoke's gonna pop. They don't get the information, and Radiant, they've got the ward on the high gun, so they're going to scout them out. Repeater's going to try and blink forward, but can they get a range? This is a big pickup. They can find him. Die, can they counteract, however? Straight on top, they get the double Sans, but the Arc Warden's already ended up dropping, but looking to go to work. Once again, the Terrorblade's going to try and show up. They got rid of the Chain Frost here, Whitemon. On top of the rib of the Frost Shield's going to at least give him some protection, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the Radiant try to retreat away. Even Cuckoo's going to get caught out as well. Okay, Execration, I see you. 3 kills, that's a big one as well, finding the Arc Warden.
For sure, it just turns everything around. How much? Was that a decent amount of gold as well? Yep, 433 or 43 going towards the Rubik. Gonna be really handy for him. He's not gonna venture too far away. How long have they got left on
They got the vision now on Carl. To simulate up underneath an observe ward.
They got to make the decision. I mean, you've got the Slardar here, and you've got what,
it's taking too long.
15 seconds left on the meta.
Is it actually?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, them going for that kill on the Void Spirit. Just wasting a little bit of extra time, and Well, at least you take a big fight there. Like, you get the Arc Warden, who was flawless so far this game. He also had a massive Pidus, so wasn't able to utilize the farming speed. Unfortunately, with that being on cooldown, but... Oh, we're... Turboblade second in net worth. What's he got? Manta, Dragonlance. He's going for the MKB as his next item as well.
Okay. You can get 2 Gleipnirs off as well. I'm just gonna laugh every time I have to say that word. In each team fight, or sorry, in each Tempest double spawn. So that's gonna be pretty handy. You know, TP it straight in, use it immediately, and then use it right before the double expires.
Well, I guess this is the one nice thing about Execration, where they have a much easier time with being able to take Roshan with the Slaughter. And I mean, he's got that level 12, so the Corrosive Haze now 15 minus armor. You know, TB is always one of the better ways to deal with it. So Radiant always have to kind of keep tabs on this. I don't imagine Execration are really going to be able to sneak it with how aware T1 will be. Like, that's the only way I can see Execration really coming back. Unless they win another big fight, and they might have to now, although they don't have meta, unfortunately. Radiant, they are smoked up.
They're going to have to be careful, perhaps play a tiny bit passively here on Execration, at least until this BKB gets to Ken. It's just arrived, so he's going to be ready to fight now. Immediately the smoke comes out. They're keen to try and turn things around.
Oh god, if they get jump right now... Oh, alright, they're right. I was a bit worried that Radiant were going to stick on the high ground. We haven't really seen them get many Tempest double kills as well, so their net worth isn't there. Carl's gonna get jumped. Can they chain lock him down though? Ken's gonna have to follow up as well. Looks like the rest of Radiant need to disengage. Well, that's the pickup potentially into Roche. Ken's even got a double damage rune as well. Alright, Execration. See if they can claim it though.
It's doable.
Yeah, they got the meta available. Radiant's gonna scout this one out. But Roche is falling low. They're going to try and buy back. So the arena's on cooldown, and they're going to stick around those. Zephyr with the roll forward doesn't find the connection, but instant telekinesis, they're going to be able to bring him down. Nicely done, but there we go. Look at the root coming through on top of the backline, holding 4. RR's falling low. The procs, not enough. He pops the G8. They need to sustain up. Can they go back in? But they committed the meta. They have to smoke up and get more. That water the backline from Radiant might have just gave them a little bit of vision. The scan connects as well. Uh-oh, Cuckoo in the river, instantly jumping him. That's a big kill if they're going to be able to bring him down. The Maneki field, they need to get straight on top. And now with the chain frost in the choke point. Look at it go to work. He pops the BKB, but now with the Viper strike. Turbo needs to get the Sunder off. And the next time's going to be able to get it. But now it's just hitting on top of the Tempest double. Once again, rooted. Look at the damage. Terribly might end up falling. 2 more right clicks is enough. It is. They bring him down. Execration. Looking like they're able to take a successful fight, but walking up the high ground into the chain frost. Zephyr's back alive, catches Rubik on the backline. Jackie gets a double, and T1, they'll hit back. Full 5-man wipe as Execration down in the grave here.
They're looking to go and take away that Roche. So effective if you're able to pick this one off against a Slardar lineup. All that minus armor, just a big part of why it's so successful, being able to push in onto the high ground with the extra life, suddenly taken away by a single lost team fight right in front of the pit.
Aegis now picked up on Carl, yeah. I mean,
as Roshan loses his Santa hat, you gotta feel bad for him.
At least he's got the festivities, but unfortunately it's... I mean, man, that Gleipnir in those fights, whew, so much damage to control as well.
The Radiance is too big.
Yeah, oh, no doubt. It's gigantic. And the range you can use it from as well. Whew. Yeah, I'm loving to see it at the moment. And I mean, Jackie's now got a 10-second BKB. You know, it's getting even more difficult to find. It's now actually going to get really difficult to bring him down. And Cuckoo's almost got a blade mail. So heavily committing on top of the Viper is going to be a lot more difficult. So I mean, Execration, what we're starting to gain a little bit of momentum, winning a couple back-to-back team fights, unfortunately giving that last one up, and you know the big one was losing Roshan as well. But they're going to jump forward. They find Whitemon, utilizing that Observe Ward. They even find Cuckoo as well. They want to try and catch him, but his Spidey sense is tingling. He's going to dip out once his support gets caught there.
They've given themselves a chance, though. You know, this TB, he's coming back in. Surprisingly enough, the win probability is pretty damn even.
Oh, yeah.
Despite how the laning stage is gone.
It was in Execration's favor almost for a little bit.
With an Arc Warden with like 7k net worth advantage. Tempest double nearly just soloed Yoe, by the way.
I mean, he's got Manta Dragon Lance, so a little bit of stats. The MKB is going to give him a lot of damage, though. Oh, top. They're setting up on Zephyr. Ken drops the arena, but Zephyr just gets the roll out. Now with the glyph, they're actually going to come back forward. Zephyr's going to counter up, and Cuckoo's showing up as well. Sans prevents the counter up. It's on top of the Omni Knight. Look at the glyph here. Controlling two. They get the fourth as well. Ken pops the BKB. Raputo is going to try and Guardian sprint away. Ken has to try and TP out with the Protector in the Magic community, but it looks like, unfortunately, Raputo, he doesn't have that same factor there. As, man, the range of the Gleipnir is nuts.
Alright, how much does this item cost?
That's a lot.
6,150. Okay, it's a heavy investment. But man, on something like an Arc Warden where you just have two, that's just a little excessive.
The positioning from the Mars might be in trouble here, BTS. He stole the Frost Shield, but it just doesn't matter. There's so much magic damage, and they dropped that Nether Toxin as well. Just getting rid of the passive there. Bulwark, not much of an effect. Now Carl's going to deal with the backline as well. Finds the Rubik, sets up for the roll, doesn't get the stun connection, but they're just able to dive, forcing out to buybacks here. Yoa's going to try and wrap around. They're going to be careful how deep they do go. Zephyr will pay the price, but I mean, this is the Metamorphosis committed here. So Radiant, they're just able to get the lanes shoved out. They even get that tier 3 tower, and I mean, they can reset and go back in knowing the meta's down.
Still having the Aegis as well, by the way, for another 2 and a bit minutes. Even Carl making those deep dives basically on top of the fountain. He's still perfectly healthy. Going into... What is he getting there? The Sanj and Kaya? Something a little bit different. Just wanting some more of that status resistance, I suppose. And Kaya, as always, very effective for all these heroes that rely heavily on the magic damage. Great against the TB to be able to quickly burst through those illusions, not leaving everything for the Lich to do with the Chain Frost.
Well, this one's it's getting pretty difficult right now. The Arc Warden is continuing to find so much farm. He's even got an Enchanted Quiver as well with that tier 3 neutral. We've got any of the new ones. Elven Tunic. Okay, Slaughter's got that. Attack speed, evasion, some movement speed. Spider legs as well. That's going to be pretty nice with the positioning. Radiant, they got a new
Ceremonial robe. Yeah. It's going to be nice. We haven't seen any of the mini Radiants just yet. It's like burning tunic or something.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Cloak of Flames. 45 damage per second, plus 10% magic resistance, plus 5 armor for a 400 radius. That seems a little busted for me for a tier 3 item.
It's really going to enable some of the heroes that can't farm to be able to get a little bit of gold as well. I guess it's 27 minutes in though, so if it was a little bit early, it'd be nice on some of the heroes that weren't able to find the net worth. But Dai can't even think about defending this top Rax knowing that the meta's on cooldown. I mean, they really need this Terrorblade BKB because there is a lot of magic damage that's coming through from T1, and they've got at least tier 2 towers down mid and bot. So they're just like, all right, guys, you know, let's hope Radiant dive too far inside the base when we got BKB. We know we can't fight into the Aegis, which is about to tick out here in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, have to be careful. Carl was pinging the Rax and saying, guys, take it. And I'm sure the conversation was, what the hell, man? You've got the Aegis. What are you telling us to go in for?
They're even going to smoke up. They don't actually care about the Aegis ticking out. They still want to get pretty aggressive here. They're hunting. Rapido's in a relatively good spot by his Observe Ward if he can pop this through the nighttime fog.
He's nearly got his BKB as well, only about 400 gold away, so that's going to be relatively major for him. But Yahweh, he's still quite a bit short. I'd say at least 1,000.
And this is now getting to the stage where you see they're running out as 5. And just unfortunately, I mean, they're not going to get any outposts, might not even get any bounties as well, as if they get to top fast enough.
Zephyr's gone way deep, just rolling in onto that high ground.
Arc Warden just picked up an MKB as well, and he's almost finished the Hurricane Pike. So he is just continuing to find item after item. They find RR and Yahweh. They're going to be really careful with their positioning right now. Like, they are giving him absolutely no room to find this BKB. You see, it's just going to continue to be a slow one for him. Just completed now. But it's... How close is the starter? That's a big thing. If they can get the double BKB timing, you know, maybe they can think about taking a fight here because they've got meta back available, but they need a choke point and they need some vision. Radiant, they're the ones in the choke point. Manta, Yowei gets out of the ATOS there. They've used it pretty early though, so they're going to be careful they commit on the back. Carl's even popped that haste, so it looks like they're ramping up for a potential engagement. Carl also just got that level 20, but they're going to smoke up all the way with the wraparound. You need the Terrorblade to kind of follow up here. A lot of their damage. Carl's shown being on with the back. They find Cuckoo, pops the BKB. They get the spear as well. Metamorphosis going to get popped, but the Cuckoo out of the arena is going to try and turn. The damage is still there, but bring down the Omni Knights. A lot of their sustain right now. Carl still holding his life. Yoe's going to be able to get the Sunder, but they haven't found the real Arc Warden. So Jackie on top of the backline is going to be able to go to work, but the BKB pop straight on top of him. Sunder's on cooldown though, so Yoe won't be able to do anything. Jackie on the Arc Warden finds a double. Rapido's going to get caught out as well. A triple for your Arc, and I mean, this is a game where they don't really have the ways to find the Arc Warden on top of the backline. Ken's even trouble as well. Look at him go. They're going to have another Gleipnir up in a couple of seconds, but that's Mars down 100 seconds on the deck, and it's going on a Viper there. It's not easy. He's goddamn tanky, and it just wasted so much time, and using all your committal to bring down Cuckoo just heavily enables Jackie to go to work.
I gotta pick up this item, this Gleipnir. I wonder if it's Gleipnir, Gleipnir.
I don't know. I was honestly just waiting for you to pronounce it, and then I was gonna follow you, because that's a hell of a word.
Well, I feel like, I guess none of the units would have voice lines, right? Saying, you know, how they say like Blink Dagger and stuff like that. They wouldn't be able to say Gleipnir. You know, it sounds so weird.
Oh, we'll be the first ones, and I mean, it's such a wonky pronunciation as well, so we'll find out eventually. We'll keep going with Gleipnir. That's good enough. Everyone's at least understanding what we're talking about, and well, everyone's got a pretty good understanding of T1's positioning this game. 17,000 net worth lead, and how they've been playing this second game is very methodical, making sure they do not give an inch to Execration to throw this and force a game 3. It's still 88% probability, which I'm still incredibly surprised the fact that it's not in the 90s right now. It's getting close, but it's, you know, at least Dota Plus giving Execration some hope to come back.
It's a stretch, and it's only going to get harder and harder as that BKB starts to get lower for the TB.
Arc Warden's level 25. He's even 25 and like 2/3 here. Jesus Christ. Have we got any shards? I haven't noticed that so far.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm just doing a scan, making sure. No shard. Come on, guys. 16,000 advantage. Surely someone picks a shard.
I mean...
Oh, alright. We're going to see a new blink. The Arcane blink for the Arc Warden. Interesting. So here's, what's it? It reduces the cast point. I think it's got a cooldown as well, if I remember correct. The cooldown reduction?
Yeah, cooldown reduction as well. I want to say 20%, but that would be a guess.
Let's take a look. Blink.
25% ability cooldown reduction for 6 seconds. And reduces cast point by half.
Jesus, that Gleipnir from downtown just going to be
and now that he's hit
easy.
his level 25 as well, he's got the Tempest double duration reduced. I mean, they've just taken away another Aegis from them.
Zephyr. Look at his warding position. Oh, they're going to find it, but he gets the silence. Now the telekinesis. Yoe pops the meta, but now with silence on top of the backline. Beautiful initiation for the Void Spirit. They try and commit the magic immunity, but is it going to be enough? The arena, it doesn't trap in anyone, so it looks like Execration. They just have to disengage with the protection of the magic immunity, but Yoe, he's in trouble. He's already popped that BKB. The Mantra as well. It's not going to matter. Can he get the Sunder off?
Oh, the Lotus!
Oh, God. No buyback for Terrorblade, and that might be all she wrote. Cuckoo drops the voice lines, and oh, even the tip as well. Don't do it to him. The BM Cuckoo. Oh, they're not done.
They both had the voice line, the Lotus, both Carl as well as Cuckoo, so there was no way he was going to be able to get out of that. It's just the Aegis, it's fine.
They've got Crush up pretty soon. Is it going to be fast enough? Can he get a bash? Nice silence instantly now with it to simulate. He's A-okay, so I mean, he loses the Aegis there, but and the rest of the team trying to shove it in. Okay, here we go. So Jackie's got that new blink that we're going to see for the first time. Unfortunately, it's already so far late into the game.
That's actually so disgusting. So he uses it right before he uses the Tempest double.
Oh, yeah. Oof. This item's stupid. What the hell? 38 duration, Tempest double with a 26 cooldown.
Dire's middle
What?
tower is under
Like, what? Was Frog?
He misused it there. He got the full cooldown on that one. 35 seconds instead of the 26.
Oh, I mean, oh, wait, hang on. Mars has got the shard. Okay, not that it's really gonna do much, but I just see some flames on the ground. So I'm a little bit excited. At least we get something new, but man, it's spark race galore right now. It's, you know, I guess what? Has Rubik got his own? No, he's got the magnetic field, so it's making it a little bit difficult for them to try and siege. Jackie's got that, you know, the help of the items, but...
Lich has it too. He's got an Ice Spire ready.
Oh, this is gonna be cool. Okay.
Dire's structures are
Won't die. They pop the glyph. They're gonna go in, but where's the help of Rapido? Instant Lotus Orb. Ken's gonna fall up as well. They find the real arc. This is a perfect target here, but Yahweh is falling low, and he doesn't have the metamorph as well. They're gonna pop the G, but the bash comes out. Arc Water. He doesn't have a buyback here. They're actually gonna be pretty careful. Cuckoo's falling low as well, but the Terrorblade does get the
Chain Frost.
Stuff he does. Now with the Chain Frost bouncing back and forth with the Cinder Gaze. Terrorblade's gonna fall. It's gonna buy back with the roll on top of the backline here. Execration. They've lost 3. Make it 4. They do get the Arc Warden and also the Viper, but the price to pay a full set of racks mid and 4 heroes for them as well. They want to try and hold the Terrorblade buyback, but I mean, this game, 27,000 net worth lead, and it's... What's the probability now? Yeah, now it's jumping up pretty high. 96%. Carl's back in once again.
So, would you agree with me in saying that the Arc Warden, the real one, got basically immediately popped in that fight?
Yeah.
He did 8,000 damage in that fight. The next closest on his team was 2,000. And that is purely from his Tempest double.
Jesus.
With the Gleipnir, with the Arcane Blink, by the way, reducing the cooldown of Gleipnir even further. And he's got the Tempest double, which lasts 38 seconds. So that's like, what, 3-4 casts of huge range, 220 damage with a 2-second root. Seems good, OS Frog.
Zephyr's even got an Agnums as well. So we're seeing Chant Remnant, which I don't think they did any works to. So it's still just the same old like it was previously before the patch.
Nah, it's just the shard.
Yeah.
That you know, gives a little bit of vision. Might be nice, but realistically, they know exactly where Execration are, so not really going to be hugely beneficial. And they just TP Jackie right back on in. The real one's staying way behind. He's like, look, there's no way you're going to be able to kill me off if I'm all the way back here.
Alright, I'm a big fan of this ward that Execration plays. They know they have to defend this high ground. This last set, that lane ward pretty deep in before tier 1 have got set up is at least going to probably see out of the position of the Arc Warden. You know, maybe if he's just hiding in the trees, which might be a little bit better positioning because you can always Hurricane Pike out if you really want to use it like that, but...
You're going to be able to get behind, though.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, you see how Cuckoo's positioning Whitemon as well, just in case they go for a full wraparound. What do we got? I mean, they're going to smoke up. They'll attempt it. It's getting shoved in, though, which is the only issue. So someone's going to have to deal with it, otherwise it's going to be pretty obvious. Scan? Yeah, it does connect. I mean,
they have to know.
They're just so aware.
They're looking over that way. Carl's like, well,
Carl's
try
hunting.
and find me.
Yeah. At least Ken's going to try and cut mid a little bit, but it leaves them out of the bottom side of the map. So Jackie might be able to get the tier 3 tower with this Tempest double. Won't be able to, but Carl's actually going to jump forward, maybe forcing out a couple abilities here from Execration. The overzealous defense here to try and keep them alive, but once again, this Tempest double has such a short cooldown thanks to that fresh blink with the Arcane. Yeah, the good old Arcane blink there, OS Frog.
BDZ's got the magnetic field,
Terrorblade, he might just get brought down. The Silence pops the BKB. They're going to try and initiate
the Lotus again.
The Lotus. Carl, once again, is going to be careful. The Astral Scepter, they find Jackie with the BKB popped. The Uranus not going to protect him now. They're going to be careful because the Thunder's on cooldown. Yahweh, he does have the BKB as well. Look at them tick out to the Magic Chain Frost. Magnetize, bouncing back and forth, and that might just be it. Zephyr
kicks the
puts
stone
Yahweh
back
in the stone, kicks him out. They kick him out of the game as Execration will be the 4th team eliminated for the BTS Pro Series Season 4 at Tier 1. They're going to move on and face Fnatic now in the lower bracket round 3.
I told you these guys like to do some innovative things, you know,
Yeah.
show out what's a little bit a little bit busted in the patch, and well, Tidehunter and Arc Warden turns out they're pretty damn good when paired together with some of these new neutral items and the Ag Shard. But some really great play coming all throughout. You know, Cuckoo and Zephyr made Yoe's life a living hell in his lane. He didn't get any farm. They stole away his stacks at his tri-camp. And even White One just making some perfect plays to come out and get some key chain frosts. Multiple fights actually, and yeah, it was just clinical from T1. There wasn't too many mistakes that they made. Nice rotations to try and come back into things. Getting that pick off onto the Arc Warden was super nice, but yeah, I think with this Slardar lineup, unless you're taking Roche, it's probably going to be a lost draft for you.
Yeah, and I think we both agreed that this was going to be a pretty difficult draft here for Execration to be able to execute. You know, they had to make very, very minimal mistakes, and unfortunately, just the laning stage that they had. I mean, Arc Warden got way too much out of it. You know, the Lich was doing such a good job at the early levels to allow the Arc to have a free time. I mean, Slardar against two range heroes never going to feel too nice, and then we also see that, you know, the Terrorblade Omni Knight, it's just a lane that's not really going to work out in favor of against the Viper and the Earth Spirit. Like, Omni pretty defensive, Terrorblade, you want to kind of find those kills when the meta is available. And then, you know, T1 did a very good job at pulling that wave, dragging away, wasting that first metamorphosis, and then as soon as it was over, they just put so much pressure on. And mid was the nice factor for Execration, but unfortunately we couldn't really see Ken kind of offset the other lanes that didn't really go in their favor. So unfortunately, we're going to say bye to two more teams. Motivate, Trust, and Execration are going to be eliminated tonight, which leaves 4 teams remaining. TNC, Team Dog are going to be playing in your upper bracket finals, and then Fnatic versus T1 in the lower bracket round 3. So I don't think anyone would really be too surprised. These are all the teams that finished in the upper bracket. So they finished in the top of the groups, yep. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, you know, I don't think a lot of people would be surprised. And I mean, I'm excited to see how the rest of the playoffs are going to end up faring, especially with this patch as well.
Yes, me too. Top 4, very worthy, very high quality coming out from all of them. And honestly, some of these results might just depend on how these different styles clash. You know, we've seen so many times in the past, you know, if you're able, to 2-0 some opponents, even someone that might have a worse group stage record than you can 2-0 you. You know, it's how close it is at the top of this Southeast Asian region. But like you mentioned, we will be watching it from the sidelines. MLP and John will be back tomorrow and the day after to cover the next, how many series is it? 3 series? 1, 2, 3, 4 series, 2 each day. And yeah, we really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you very much for the kind words. It has been noticed, so we really do appreciate that. And again, if you do want to keep in touch with us so that you see when we are casting in the future, make sure you're following us on Twitter and Facebook. For myself, just search up Danog, and Aries is Aries_HD. And of course, thank you to Monster, you know, keeping us energized. It's 12:30 a.m. here. Prime time to play some more Dota, I think. How about you?
Yeah, I reckon, well, we're used to the 4:30 finishes, and now we're actually, you know, we might jump off, play a little bit Dota, see how this new patch is feeling. We even, you know, got some other games that we're able to watch as well on the new patch. So this is exciting time right now for Dota, with the new DPC kicking in pretty soon as well. But, you know, more importantly, I'm excited to see how the rest of the BTS Pro Series is going to fare. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. You got 2 more days of the playoffs underway, 4 teams remaining who will be crowned the champions of the BTS Pro Series Season 4. You have to find out in the next upcoming days. That's it for us tonight, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the night.